Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the video. So just wanted to discuss kind of some of my favorite companion, I don't know if you call them mascot characters, I'm just going to say companion characters for the sake of this video. And I will say that I have done absolutely zero research for this. So if I'm wrong about anything, please feel free to correct me. That's totally fine with me. I'm not claiming to be an expert by any means. So as far as I can remember, mascot characters or having a companion character started back in the 64 days, Navi being the first one I can remember from Ocarina of Time. And I think it just was, I don't know if they viewed it as a necessity, but I think the games were getting bigger, the worlds were getting bigger, and they figured this was a good way to kind of like help guide the player along. Now, if they're really necessary or just something that you maybe not even enjoy. I've always enjoyed them. Find it very helpful in games. I don't want to think that hard. That sounds terrible. I don't want to think that hard when I'm playing video games. I just want to enjoy the experience, and I hate when I get stuck in games. That's one of the things that will get me to just stop playing for a while when I get stuck and I can't easily figure my way out. So there you go, a little something about me. So I'm going to just go through three. I don't want to make this video too long since we live in a TikTok world and nobody's going to watch that long anyways. I should probably cut that out. So number three is the reason I kind of wanted to make this video, or what made me think about it, is that I've started playing Metaphor ReFantazio, and boy, I have a million thoughts on that game. But Gallica is the reason I started thinking about companion characters, because I absolutely love her as a character. She's phenomenal. Having a fairy is nothing new, but she's very distinct, like artistically. You could pick her out, versus other fairies in other games. I love the voice acting. I love when they're in combat, she has like little armor on. And I was a little worried at first that she was just there because Atlas does sometimes like to, make a lot of characters in games. That she was there just for that purpose and wasn't as useful besides moving the story along. But what's awesome about her character, besides everything else, is that in the boss fights, she actually does have mechanics. Now, I've only gone through like the kind of intro boss that you can play in the demo, and then the first big human boss that you play in the game. And what's really neat is you implement her ability, or you can choose to implement her ability, and it's part of the strategy of your how you're gonna take on the boss, which is really awesome. It's not just a blanket. At a certain point, she does whatever. It's you choose, and that choice can affect what's going to happen further in the battle. And I'm hoping that she is a part of further boss battles as I go on. I'm not that far yet. I'm really slow at video games, but as soon as I got to that first big boss and she was involved in the combat, she like popped up and asked like, "Hey, do you want me to get involved?" I was like, "Oh yeah, heck yeah, here we go." She's awesome. She might move up higher in the list, but I'm not far enough in the game to really say that. If she turns out to be like a spy or something and betrays us, that'll suck. But right now, I'm absolutely loving that character. She's phenomenal, and it's a phenomenal game. If you guys are still on the fence about that one. Number two, instead of like a very modern game, we're going to go back in time a little bit to one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games. In fact, it's my favorite 2D Legend of Zelda game, which is, I think, people always get upset when yours is different than theirs, but mine is the Minish Cap, and the companion character in that game is the Minish Cap, or his name is Eslo, and I just remembered loving that character a lot. I like that he's not just he doesn't just go along with the protagonist. He kind of pushes back a little bit, or has his own personality. He's a little frazzled, a little grumpy sometimes, but his story's directly tied to what's going on in the game. He's very, the mechanics of the hat are, super cool in that game, the way they implement the abilities. And I like how they, made the character fit into the aesthetic of Link. Like the hat, he's a bird hat, but it still looks like Link. I don't know. I just really liked the whole thing. Kind of weird, the design, but it just worked perfectly. And I just remember liking that character a lot. few times, like, you know, some of his lines got a little scoff out of me, not necessarily a laugh, but I was like, oh, that's, you know, that was why it was good writing and a good character, so I liked it a lot. Hey everyone, so I'm editing the video and I forgot to talk about this and I really wanted to mention it in the video, so I'm going to throw it in now. In terms of, you know, a mascot character having, being a hat, I just wanted to say that Aslo did it first, way before Cappy. I was not a big fan of Cappy, even though I love that game. But anyways, I just want to say that Cappy, that Aslo is way better than Cappy. You can fight me in the comments. Anyways, back to the video. And then the last one. So, okay, I'm a huge Persona fan, and you could probably pick a lot of different characters for this, but mine is one of my favorite games of all time from Persona 5. It's Mona or Morgana. I just loved that character. I loved every character from Persona 5 and Persona 4. Like, if somebody picked Teddy, I'm down with Teddy. He made me laugh out loud when he was, you know, thirsting after the girls, as the kids say. He was a good character, but I liked Mona more. I liked, actually, the fact that a lot of the things a lot of people didn't like, where he, you know, did something or said something that was disagreeable. To me, all that showed is that he was a real character with real issues he was working through, just like the rest of the cast. I like that it wasn't everybody got along hunky-dory the whole time, that there were issues, and, you know, some of the poor choices he made affected where the game went, where the story went. So he was, you know, a very important piece of the overall story, the very long story. But I thought he just worked perfectly. I loved in the metaverse too that he was that kind of goofy cartoon cat with a huge head. And I liked in the real world that he was just a normal cat. He just chilled with the team. He was in your backpack or, you know, sitting on a couch or something, just part of the conversation, part of what's going on. How cool would it be to have a talking cat, right? And then, you know, in terms of combat, I used him just as much as I used any other member. You know, depending on the situation, I moved my team around a lot, so I never had any issues with them there. And then I know the other big thing that people didn't like is that he told you to go to bed. But to me, that wasn't like the character. That was just a mechanic of the game they built in. And that they just used him to be like, you know, hard stop for the protagonist. Like, no, your actions are over for the day. So that never really bothered me. It just wasn't a thing that I ever cared about, you know, compared to some of the other videos and stuff I've seen from other people. But I liked the flawed characters and companion characters. I like ones that have personality, that are a little more distinct, that stick out more. So yeah, that's kind of my 3 characters I wanted to talk about. I would love to hear if anyone has, you know, other characters. I did think of a few more that I enjoyed. Like, I brought up Teddy. If I did a longer companion list, which nobody would want to see, I would have put him on it. You know, so especially some older games that I really enjoyed the characters or parts of them, but, you know, they didn't have as much personality, so they weren't as meaningful to me as the ones I talked about. But I would love to hear if there's a companion character any of you guys really love that I didn't talk about. I didn't talk about a lot of them, so you could tell me that. Or what would be even better, if you've got a channel, I would love to see somebody else make a video on their companions. That would be a lot of fun. Tell me, and I will definitely watch it. I feel like video game YouTube is just getting really toxic right now. I just want to have some fun and make fun videos again. And well, not that mine were. I hope mine were never not fun, but just like videos that are focused on the games. That's what's important to me. And hopefully we'll have some fun with this, guys. But if you watched the whole thing, thanks so much for checking this out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.